Thank you for watching The Guy Dawson Show at the World Center of Broadcast Media, WCOBM.com. By the way, we have a message line. We always love to receive messages from all of you, comments about
if they're nice
about the dogs.
If they're not
we'll
nice,
take what we can get.
Go somewhere else.
Ask us a question. Ask us a question. We would love to answer your questions. Anything. The misnomers of dogs. How to take care of them. Why should you spay?
Yeah,
why should you spay?
What are some of the misnomers of dogs? What about you, Sharon?
Oh, I should be answering. Well, you know what? I think one of the biggest issues is people see dogs in shelters, and even shelter staff see these dogs, and they're deemed as aggressive. But you know what? If you got locked in a small area, first you lost your home and your family, and then you got thrown into this tiny little area with all of these frightened dogs around you, you'd probably sound aggressive too. And it's like once you take these dogs out of that environment and they get either into a foster situation or a home or a rescue or something like that, suddenly they're the sweetest dogs on the planet.
Absolutely. Another one, neutering my dog will take his manliness away.
Yeah, you do hear that a lot. That's an excuse to people.
That is a lousy excuse, and there's so many issues with a dog not being neutered. Not necessarily that it can't go out and sow his seeds or plant a seed, but but the fact of all the other issues that happen to a dog when they're not neutered, as far as cancer issues and stuff like that to the area down there. So yeah, that's another misnomer. I have a friend who's at a Doberman, refuses to do it, and the dog, they get very aggressive when they continue to have that kind of stuff. It does help temper that a little bit, but I wouldn't call aggressiveness manliness.
And it doesn't take away their manliness, because a neutered dog still refuses to stop for directions.
Yes.
So I had to. I'm sorry.
Yes, absolutely. I think a lot of people, the misnomer right now, we talked about it earlier, is pit bulls. They are one of the biggest goober babies I've ever been around, and they just get a bad situation only because of their high popularity, because they are a great dog.
Yeah.
They're a great family dog, great smart dog, very trainable, and because of the environment that they've been put in and the aggressiveness of their nature, it gives them a bad name.
And you know what? Granted, they're strong dogs, admittedly, but if you tortured a Shih Tzu the way that dog fighting rings and things like that torture pit bulls, they're going to be aggressive too. Yeah. I mean, they're going to need a ladder to get up to you, but still something. So.
Well, it's great. Going into our 5th national tour, we've come a long way from the first year, everybody thinking I was a dog groomer, because they're all like, this guy's running around the country doing hair for animals, bring your dog into the salon. Your dog into the salon, really. I remember a guy bringing his dogs to a salon in Omaha, Nebraska, and I'm like, come on, guy, read the flyer. But, God bless them. They all want to try and help support, the rescues and the shelters all across the country, and it just is amazing to me that we're all doing this. I have our little niche. We're all out there for the same cause, yet there's no cohesiveness.
Right.
And that's what Barkade is about. We're trying to bring these shelters and these rescues together through this national tour and help educate and bring more awareness. So that's what it's all about.
I've been learning so much about animal activism with Cheryl and I working together, and it's great to see it become something that is very prominent. When animals, I think, have been second-class citizens for as long as I can remember, and it's wonderful to see that they're being treated with a lot more respect, and that people are paying attention to their rights, because who says that we as human beings have all the rights on the planet? All these other beings on the planet were put here just the same way that we were, so why should we be able to disrespect all the other inhabitants?
We're sharing space together. Absolutely. And I read a statistic, and I may have this wrong, but it's the point being is that there was $4 billion spent last year on animal products, clothing, food, whatever, and pets and animals have become such a bigger part of our life now. And so much money is being spent on. There's some dogs out there that are treated better than most children.
My dog is treated better than most children.
And so yeah, it's become, there's more, and it's great to be a part of it, and to kind of be in the mix of what I'm doing and seeing what's happening across the country, and people realizing exactly what you're saying is that, hey, they didn't mean to be here, so why should we treat them any different?
What I love about what you do is I have so many people that I say animal rescue, and suddenly, oh, I couldn't do it. It's too depressing.
Right.
But, I mean, you never actually touch an animal. You never actually get involved. I mean, I'm sure you pet them and everything. But you're not physically rescuing the dogs. You're not having to foster any of that. Yet you're doing so much for the cause.
Yes.
And I don't think people realize that there is so much that they can do
There is a lot.
without ever stepping foot in a shelter.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now that the van is wrapped, I can't run around incognito anymore. So it's going
Right.
to save animal rescue and all that. So I can guarantee you, no matter where I go, people are like, "Hey, I saw a stray dog down the street. Can you go get
Oh, yeah.
this dog?"
Do you get a lot of that where people
Oh,
just
yeah.
Yes.
jump on and want to be a part of the cause?
Absolutely. They want to know how they can get involved. And I think a lot of people, as Cheryl and I were speaking earlier, a lot of people just don't know how. They don't know what to do. They think they have to get dirty or have to handle a sick animal. No, you don't. You can just donate, or you can offer time answering phones.
Right.
You can help raise awareness by sending out flyers. I mean, there's so many different things you can do. Like myself, like she said, I don't do what they do on a daily basis, and quite frankly, I couldn't do it. But this is my way of being able to help them do what they do.
I just realized Pictographics missed out on a huge opportunity. We could have wrapped your van in fur. Fake fur, of course. It could have been like the Dumb and Dumber vehicle with the ears and everything.
How about that? That would be cool.
You're going to go back. They were watching the show. Like, we changed up the design.
Put some floppy ears on this.
That'd be great.
Absolutely. Yeah,
So,
yeah. Everybody's like, there goes Patrick.
Yeah, well, that's what marketing is all about, right? You have
Absolutely.
to create something that is unique and stands out, and a furry, a van wrapped in fur would really
And
stand
that's what
out.
you hit on earlier. I mentioned you were talking about her being the PR guru that she is, and that's what it is. It's about finding that niche and being different, and that's what we've been trying to do with Barkade, is to find ourselves and define ourselves a little differently than what's out there. Because you hear animal rescue or animal shelter, it's the kind of people just like, there's so many of them.
Right.
But not really. There's just there's a lot of bad ones. There's a lot of good ones. So having a quality product out there and being able to help people in a very integratory way. Is that a good word? I just made that up.
You did.
Integratory?
Yeah, well,
Run with
at least
it.
we're not in a Toastmaster
Run with
meeting
it. Do
today.
it.
Integratory.
Works for me, Patrick.
Yes, all right. I'm glad you have us. Thank you. Appreciate it. Any exposure is good exposure.
And how can people connect with you to become volunteers, to be a part of your mission?
Thank you. If you are interested in not only being a sponsor and being a part of such a large tour, being exposed to a lot of people, contact barkade.org. There is a section on there for volunteers, and based upon your area, we will connect you to the partnership and the group that we represent in those areas. And that's been a wonderful area of our website. People have said, how can I get involved? And we've had it from Virginia, we've had Florida, we've had Texas, and we just direct them to those shelters and rescues that we work with in those areas. So yes, please get a hold of barkade.org. There's a lot of information on there about what we do. There's the events page, which shows you where we're going to be in your area and what date and where we're going to be at and for who. So please visit barkade.org.
Thank you for stopping by. Thank you, Cheryl, for
Thank you. I just want to
being
throw
my
out havlv.com. All the information will be on there for Hearts Alive's.
And thank all of you for tuning into this week's edition of The Guy Dawson Show. We will see you next Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific Time. Take care of yourselves.